just talking and somebody in the background finally said that they couldn't hear me. Really? I done gave a whole speech. Okay, let me rewind. So as I was saying, y'all, how I found this story was I was strolling on TikTok and I saw RIP Egypt scroll up. I was triggered. I was like, "What the heck is this? What is this? Is it a is it a joke? Because you just never know, right?" And I strolled past the first video, and then with algorithm, this name Egypt popped up again, and this time it said Egypt's mom. Okay, Egypt. Gonna click on it and let's see. So many you people use that name as a stage name for whatever. That is my legal birth given name, and it's a history and a story behind that name. Um, it's I'm gonna say this because little Egypt didn't quite get to where I'm at. So with that name, there is a lot of suffering, a lot of burdens, a lot of people not understanding you, or sometimes feeling alone or isolated. I believe in names that God, there is power in those names, and I everything that happened biblically in Egypt, I feel that. If I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but the QOC platform is to give a voice to those that don't have a voice, to stand for the community for those that want to stand, and to, of course, agree to disagree, but do it in love and in respect. Everything that we have built QOC on has been on just this: adjust your crown, because your story is not over. And even though little Egypt, see, this is how God works. And I'm trying not to get emotional because I know this is a touchy story. Even though little Egypt life has ended, her story still is not over. Why? Why Egypt? Because her mom is advocating on her behalf. She's teaching and educating people on shaking baby syndrome. We're gonna get into the details of this story, but it just goes to show that even when we have separated from this life, what we do continues to go on, and it continues to build a legacy. And with that, man, yes, sir. And I'm gonna do that in order of Little Egypt, in remembrance of Little Egypt. Sometimes we get so fast paced with life, we forget how precious life is. And the way this baby was affected was at the hands of her own biological father. Um, the Bible said revelation would come, mothers would be haters, daughters would hate mothers, and sons would hate fathers. I still can't wrap my mind quite around what would make you do that to your own blood, but we're gonna get into it. Before I bring her mom to the stage, um, I'm just gonna ask you guys to bear with me. This is very touchy. Um, for her mom as well as for me, and to any mother that thinks that their child is safe when we entrust them in the hands of their parents. We just saw what little Kamani killed by her father was 2-3 weeks ago. They just not laying this baby to rest. I'm not quite understanding what is going on, but for those that want to doubt and you want to question God, let me just remind you that nothing happens unless God allows it to happen. And I just believe this baby story brought Kaya and her family together. It made them learn growth, support. It made them appreciate life just a little bit more than they would if we was so-called. What is normal though? Can we go there for a minute? What is a normal life? What is a normal life? We have that so bad to say normal, but what is normal? Huh? Okay. But I digress. I am going to play Egypt's reel. We're going to get, after this real roll, you're going to see Miss Kaya enter the building. That is Egypt's mom. If she needs a second to get herself together, I'm not rushing this. This is my network. And when I say my network, that means I'm not under no guidelines or laws on how I conduct interviews. This is sensitive, and I want the story to be told right and accurate and with the love and the respect and dignity that it deserves. So I'm gonna stop talking for a minute, and then we're gonna play this real, and then Miss Kaya Beyond.
Your eyes and let your mind wander. It won't be long, won't be long now.
A kiss goodnight, the morning after, a lullaby to the ears of a dreamer. They're all I have, all I.
And y'all know I couldn't do the song that I wanted to do because of copyright and disclaimers. But without further ado, all the way from South Carolina, Miss Kaya. This is Egypt's mom, you guys. How are you doing today? If you need a moment, I understand. We got you. We sis, we family, like I told you. You're going to make me tear up because I'm looking at your face. So I'm trying not to go there, y'all. Okay, God, I'm going to need you to give us some strength to get through this story. Egypt is a Virgo like me. Her birthday September 11th, mine September 6th. My son name is Joseph. Her dad name is Joseph. So much of this story triggers me. I'm very randomly shaken. But this story here, I can't imagine a child going through what she went through, the short amount of time given and allowed in this world on this side. I want her to be happy for a minute before we start digging into these questions, because y'all see Egypt in the back of us. Oh my God, she could have been my child. Look at her eyes. Oh my God. Anyways, Miss Kaya, just tell us a little bit about Egypt, her personality, like you as her mom, like what's that one thing about Egypt that you can go throughout the day or a week or month and it just that's my baby. What was it? What was special? Because us as mothers, we have that one special thing in all of our kids. What was Egypt's?
She just loved to smile and she loved people around her. She knew when I came in the room after her injury, she knew who I was. She still knew I was her mama. She was cortical vision impaired, blind through the brain, but she knew when mama came in the room because she just lit up. She could sleep and sleep, and once I come home, she's like wide awake, smiling. So she knew who mama was, and I just always remember her smile, and that remind me everything of her.
Can I just say this? I am, and I said this when I talked to you on the phone. I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You could have lost your mind. You could have threw in the towel. You could have went into a massive depression, but you are living on and you're living strong. Um, and you're doing it because you have other siblings, but because of your love for Egypt. Before we get into Egypt's story, I want y'all to hear how this mother is advocating for her child. Can you tell these people what you are doing for your baby?
I'm actually meeting with the senator next week of South Carolina to try to get the law changed to get a shaken baby syndrome law per se, just a law in honor of Egypt. So it will be Egypt's law here in South Carolina. And I also going to do parenting classes. I tell my baby story and try to prevent shaken baby syndrome. And I'm about to start my nonprofit organization, Justice for Shaken Babies, here in South Carolina to help families that went through what I've been through and what my baby been through. And that's what I'm doing. I already did about 4 parenting classes already.
Do you think that those classes, when you do those classes, do you think that you are helping parents when you do that?
Yes, because a lot of parents tell me they didn't know what shaken baby syndrome was, and a lot of parents didn't know it's from ages newborn to 5 years old. They thought it was just a newborn baby up to 2 years old can have shaken baby syndrome, but actually it's up to 5 years old. And shaken baby syndrome is not also just a convulsion, just shaking back and forth. It's called abusive head trauma, also as shaken baby syndrome, like blunt
And
force
I did
trauma.
not know that. I did
Hmm.
not know that till I heard Egypt's story because we hear it all the time, or the movies depicted as like you just said, as newborn babies. The
Yeah.
mom has PTSD or is overwhelmed, and then bam, that kind of thing there. So when you told me they labeled her with shaking baby syndrome, I was like, ah. But for the audience, for y'all that don't know what it is, here's a quick overlay of it. Like she said, it is a severe form of child abuse that causes brain injury from violent shaking or a blunt force. A blunt force is what happened with um, Baby Egypt. I'm gonna call her Baby Egypt tonight, so y'all won't get confused when y'all see my name on here. And for informational purposes, while I have Kaya on here, I do have a shaken baby syndrome video. I just want to play for the audience for awareness so y'all would know what we're talking about when she starts describing everything that little Egypt went through. This is serious, y'all. This is not just about tragedy, but I am hoping if it's a parent out there that needs to be educated, or if you're at your wit ends, mom or dad, call somebody, call the fire department, call somebody to come get that baby out your care. It's too many resources that will come and get these kids to protect them. Or if you're not in the right mental space yourself, leave the babies alone. Skip the weekend. This was something that could have been prevented. I'm not even gonna say prevented, but it didn't have to happen. Let's just say that. So I'm gonna play this of shaking baby syndrome so you guys can see what this is, how's it caused, and then that gives her a breather. And then we're gonna come into this bad boy and we're gonna go into questions of what happened to baby Egypt, y'all.
Shaken baby syndrome is a serious brain injury resulting from forcefully shaking an infant. Shaken baby syndrome destroys a child's brain cells and prevents his or her brain from getting enough oxygen. This form of child abuse can cause permanent brain damage or death. Babies have weak neck muscles and can't support the weight of their heads. If a baby is forcefully shaken, their fragile brains move back and forth inside the skull. This causes bruising, swelling, and bleeding. Shaken baby syndrome usually occurs when a parent or caregiver severely shakes a baby due to frustration, often because the child won't stop crying.
And there you have it. I am accompanied tonight by the lovely J. Marie, which is my ride or die in the QOC network. J. Marie, this is Egypt's mom. I know this sounds so funny to say that when you got Egypt on the thing too. Um, but let me get us formulated here so everybody could see everybody. And now it's time to get to the story. At any time, Miss Kaya, like I told you, if we need to pause, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Can you describe the day that Egypt was injured? What happened on that day?
She was visiting her biological father and his living girlfriend, and it was actually a Monday that she was injured. But prior before that, I told them to bring my baby home, and they said that the car broke down and they couldn't bring my baby home. At the time, I wasn't driving, so I didn't have like a ride to go and get my baby. And then that Monday, I got a text from the fiance that Egypt was breaking out. What do I use? Like what kind of detergent I use? And She said she was giving her gold bond, and then that was about 4. And then I get a phone call from the fiance. Do I have a ride? That Egypt was injured. She wasn't home. She thinks she fell out the bathtub, but she wasn't there. She came and picked me up, took me to the hospital, and they put me in a small room and said that my baby either was going to be a vegetable or she was going to pass away. They did emergency brain surgery on her to release all the hemorrhage out of her brain because her brain was bleeding.
Do you think
And
that injury happened when they was playing like she was allergic to the detergent? You think it had already occurred then, or that day that she was at the hospital?
I'm not sure about that part, but I know the doctor said it happened 24 hours before she got to the hospital because she was
Mm.
already in the how you say it, stroke posture. She was in and out, and so they felt like it happened 24 hours prior to her being in the hospital.
Do you know what the husband advised the medical team? Because you know how they ask, like what happened to the baby. Do you know what his words were to the police and medical team at that time?
No, I don't because he kept changing his story. Actually, it let him out the hospital to go home, and the fiance took him back to the police department the next day. So they had me in the room talking to me. They had her in the room and had him in the room, and they let him go home and the fiance. And but I'm gonna go back a little bit when she was first in the hospital. The police was never on the scene. I'm the one that called the police while they was
What?
investigating. The police didn't even come to the hospital at all. I called the police myself to get an investigation started because I'm trying to figure out what happened to my baby. Because my baby was a
That's
typical baby.
really weird.
Yes, yes.
Wow, because in Texas, soon you hit the I remember my baby I forgot what it was, but they was asking me all kind of questions. And if they have an inkling that abuse or neglect was in play, CPS is already there and they have, that is really, really weird. And I'm just wondering how different are the laws in South Carolina when it comes to kids and abuse versus
Right.
Texas. That just ain't sitting right with me.
Be,
You got a baby that got to have brain surgery and ain't nobody wondering what happened to this perfectly normal child 24 hours before this.
And the detective didn't come in till like 2 o'clock in the morning. It took,
Wow.
it took a long time for the investigator to come to the scene, and finally they just let him go home. And the fiance texted me and say, "Oh, I think Joseph did this. I'm taking her back. I'm taking him back to the police department." And that's where he confessed that she kept crying, and he couldn't stop her from crying, so he just started punching her in the back of the head until her body went
Jesus.
limp.
Oh, I almost cussed.
this
Jesus.
is hard. Um, I
Jesus.
don't mean to be so quiet. I'm normally not. This is very hard for me to have the questions, and I mean no disrespect. I know this is the hardest for you. I'm just at a loss of words, and I'm trying to keep it together to even be able to ask you the questions. But how did you know she was sexually assaulted, and like what told you,
Well,
what
that's further
indicated?
down, Jay. You done jumped all the way down.
I'm sorry.
You done jumped all the way down. But right, you right there, because I know you're emotional, because me and you have cried about this together. So I know you're emotional. This is I can't even call him a man, but this is the guy that did this to this baby. This is her father. And Kaya, can you please tell us how much time this Negro received?
Only 18 years in prison. Only 18 years.
And he's up to, okay, now mind you, this happened in what year, Kaya?
2015.
So
9 years.
pretty soon he'll start having parole hearings, correct?
No parole. I talked to the people at the prison. They say he'll max out in 2030. He's not eligible
Is
Oh,
because it's a violent crime.
is that justice though? Is that
No
justice?
justice. My baby's gone, never coming back, and he's getting out. I don't get the system In South Carolina, I don't.
Ooh.
Okay.
Um,
Mm. His
And they
his
told me,
part. Has he ever? Because me and you had this conversation. Um, did he ever show any remorse? Any remorse?
No, no, he haven't. Even in the emergency room where we was at, where they did brain surgery in the hospital, he didn't say nothing to me. He actually asked the girlfriend, "Why did you go get her?"
He
Like
didn't
no
want
kind
you
of
there
remorse, nothing. Mm-mm.
because
My
he was
baby.
guilty.
And she was too, because she's pacing back and forth, sweating, biting her nails. She
right.
just pacing the whole time.
Because you
I
heard a
was saying,
story, you said that as this was, kind of going through, that it was actually her that abused Egypt and not him. What is your like discernment wise? Because mothers have this intuition thing when it comes to our babies. Do you believe it was her or actually him?
I feel like it was both of them, and it's a cover up. Like he's covering up for her, but I believe they both did this to my baby. I really do.
Jesus.
And she's free. She blocked me from Facebook everywhere. When my baby first got injured, she blocked me from everywhere. The news tried to contact her. She would not talk on the news or nothing.
This is real life, y'all. This is not no made up story that we're doing tonight. This is actually this baby's life that we are talking about. Now we're going deeper into this
Mm.
story. Um, how long was she in the hospital, Kaya, before she was transitioned? And we first get to the next part where she went after the hospital. But how? Okay, this is the part. This is the question that made me cry when I talked to Kaya. Y'all bear with me, please bear
Ugh.
with me. What made you? Because the doctors were so ruthless, Jay, with this mother when it came to making the decision. Oh, I'm trying not to cry. Whether to
I can't even speak. I'm
I see you, and I need you to.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Okay, so this is the question,
Woo.
and then we'll cry when she answer. But these doctors were so heartless to this child and this mother. They told her to pull the plug on this baby. That
Yes, they did.
pretty much her life was over, and it wasn't even worth saving. I want Kaya share it with me, but I want her to share with everybody that we gonna touch, because we're gonna chop this up and screw it, and we're gonna make shorts and
Mhm.
clips. How does that feel for somebody that you trust to provide care and possibly, because we know God do all the healing, but possibly help your child tell you, don't even worry about it. Go ahead and pull the plug. What was that day like?
I was heartbroken and I was very angry. And I told him I'm not pulling no plug on my baby. I said I'm gonna pray every day my baby's gonna make it out this hospital. And that's what I told the doctor. And I'm not trying to go too far in the story, but that's the same doctor who was there when my baby passed away.
You told me. Yeah. Yeah. It's still some after stuff with this baby.
Well, like with it
Whew.
being in the hospital, did, did you not have any hospital administration trying to help you or anything with this situation with your baby being in the hospital? They
No,
didn't You didn't have any support at all? Oh my.
no support. No. All my family lived in New York. The hospital, they off the chain here in South Carolina. Preston Hospital, they is off the chain. Um, I talked with the forensic doctors and stuff, and they all was on the same page that she's gonna be a vegetable. She wouldn't be able to move, do nothing for herself. So what's the point of keeping her here? Like
Jesus.
they really say I was being selfish to keep her here.
And I'm gonna ask you the hard question, Mom. Do you think you were being selfish, or you think that God told you to do what you did?
I wasn't being selfish. I wasn't being selfish, and I prayed, and I was in the chapel every day when my baby's on life support, back and forth from the room to the chapel, back and forth. And I knew my baby was going to make it and survive, and she was going to progress. And I knew that, and my heart told me to keep her here with me. I don't feel like I was being selfish.
A mom's love. I promise you, next to Jesus, a mom's love is it's supposed to be the safest thing after that. Oh my God. So, what I like about Kaya is you guys can follow her on TikTok. It's actually Egypt's mom. But I'm gonna get her exact information and drop it in here. She showed no different with her kids. Even though Egypt was in that condition when she came home, and we're gonna get into that. She was at the beach, she was outside, like they did family activities. This woman has videos of her kids interacting with Egypt like ain't nothing wrong with Egypt. I think that was the most heartbreaking and beautiful thing a mom can do. I didn't see no difference. I mean, I just have to, a lot of people I have a neighbor across the street and her baby is kind of in the state Egypt was before she left. And I never see this child outside. I never see her mom. It's like the nurses come and they leave. I never see her even on the porch. But you gave Egypt a sense of normalcy that a lot of parents don't do in those cases. Let me just tell you how dirty South Carolina is, because even after the care that this baby received in this hospital, she was not released to Kaya to come home.
No.
She was placed in foster care. And then
Now-
you might want to ask, this is where Jay gonna come in with her question.
Mm.
Why was she placed in foster care?
Right. Because it has to be that the mother's unfit or something like that, right? It has to be that she's deemed unfit.
Or is it because of the investigation part? Because I know they'll do that too. If it's an open investigation, they want to get like real resolution. Because she wasn't in Kaya custody when she got injured. She was in the father's custody. See, this is where I'm not understanding the laws in South Carolina. How are you going to take my child that wasn't even in my... So are you dinging me as a mom for being a good co-parent because y'all want us to co-parent?
Right,
Whether
right.
we feel that the father is not right or strung out on drugs or whatever they doing, the law still wants us to co-parent.
And the
I don't
burden
like
of
that.
proof is on you.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that he's unfit, you've got to prove it. You cannot not prove you.
And that's not
You
right.
have to prove it. And when there's immediate danger, I can't.
Did you ever think Joseph would do something like this to this baby?
No. Never seen no signs of anger or nothing. No.
Okay, so we start here, you guys. She goes into foster care. And lo and behold, why again, this baby is supposed to be protected in a vulnerable state. Y'all saw the reel. Y'all saw this baby. This piece of junk. Nurse Peggy Atkins took it upon herself to sexually assault this child. And I didn't even leave her picture up here long because it's gonna run me hot in so many ways. How could you do that to a... First of all, we question pedophiles, first of all, when they mess with babies. Or when a child is disabled. This baby was disabled. How could you do that to a baby that has no voice? Miss Kaya, Miss Peggy, how did you know or find... Oh, okay. Okay, y'all. But, oh, Jesus. I asked you to cover...
I'm sorry, I went into that question.
Yeah, I'm
Early.
asking you right now, God, in the name of Jesus, first of all, to cover this mom. Touch her heart, touch her mind, give her the strength that she needs. God, you know all. Whether we understand or not, we know that you know. And the old folks used to say, by and by we'll understand. And some things we might not ever understand. And I believe this is one of those things that Kaya won't understand. But God, right now, in the middle of this podcast or this show, because we not no podcast. Let me reword that. God, I ask you to go wherever she's at in South Carolina, and I ask you just to hug her, to touch her, and to let her know that you have never left her, neither have you forsaken her. And in all things, you will get justice. And that baby will be at peace. And she will be able to rest. And I pray that God increase whatever that you're doing in the memory of this child. That God touches your steps and order your steps so you could do what you need to do. I have never heard of nothing quite like this. And y'all know Billy Bad Egypt usually can hold it together. And y'all know Jay can talk. So and I want to be so patient with this mother because I'm a mom. Jay is a mom. Cover us right now, Jesus. Right now, Jesus. Right now. Okay. So this baby goes into foster care and she is sexually assaulted. And we're not even supposed to dwell there. God told me to move past it. Kaya finally comes home. I mean, Egypt finally comes home. Y'all see, oh my God. What was that day like, Kaya, when you got to physically have your baby in your home?
I want to go back a little bit.
Okay. I want you to guide it. We don't want to overstep. Go ahead.
When I was fighting for custody of my daughter, Department of Social Services here in South Carolina took me through so much hell where I had to get a bigger house. Then they said it wasn't big enough. Had to get a bigger car. They said it wasn't big enough. They did not allow the hospital to train me. I had to learn on my own if I wanted my baby that bad. I had to go through car seat training, which the seat training is, instructor said they never heard of being a car seat trainer. The doctors even said that you don't have to be trained to take care of a medical fragile child. It's called learning experience when the child's with you. They never heard of being just trained. You have to, it automatically come to you when you start taking care of that child that, tell me the medication. So Department of Social Services took me through hell. My daughter was having 50 seizures throughout the day. When she came home, it dropped to 2 seizures a day. But they just took me through so much hell. And then when I kept going to trial, and when I went before the last judge, I made my own dummy doll to show them that I can do this, and no one ever taught me, but I could do it on my own. And the judge ordered that they put me in the hospital. I do 48 hours in front of a nurse. And then when it was time for her to be discharged, they still gave me hell to bring her home because they said I didn't have nurses and I didn't have this set up and that set up. But finally, thank the good Lord, she finally came home. And I was just so, so happy. I was happy. It's like a burden just lifted up. It's like I had a hole in my heart and it just healed back up. I was just so happy that my baby's home. I stayed up with her all night. I held her. I just stayed up with her all night with my baby. And I was just so happy.
That's a lot on a mom. I'm just gonna say that these laws, and I say this and I preach that. That's why it's important to watch who we put in these seats on these local levels that represent us. They're supposed to have our best interests and rights in place, because money grab cost this child a lot of lost time with her mom. It cost her being sexually assaulted in their system, not her or no family member, their damn system. It was unnecessary with this young child. At this time, Kaya, how old was Egypt at this time here when she's in foster care?
She was 18 months old when she got injured, and she was in foster care from 18 months old till think she was 7 when she came home, or going on 7 when she came home.
Jesus.
So she was about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, she was 6 going on 7 because she was going for 4 years. I fought 4 years in between time, paid for 3 different attorneys, about 6 different caseworkers. Because every time something would go on, I would go in front of the judge and I would tell on the caseworker, and I would get my proof in front of the judge that this was they was going against my civil rights, and then they would fire or move the social worker to another case, and I have a whole new caseworker, and that was going on in 4 years, and I never missed not one visit, not one doctor appointment for them whole 4 years.
Jesus. Ooh, God held you together, Kaya. God held you together, is what I'm gonna say. That's a
It's
lot.
holding her together. Holding her together.
Yes. Because we're talking about a baby that don't need 1 hour of care. Your whole life shifted because now you're her caregiver, right?
Yes, yes.
She has siblings. Egypt has 3 other siblings. I actually saw them eating at a restaurant this weekend as a family, and it was so beautiful to see all her babies together, and her new husband, which supports her and loves on her. I'm so grateful she got that support system.
Absolutely. That matters. That
Ooh.
massively matters.
Before
I
we
actually
get
got
to the go ahead, ma'am.
Go
I
ahead,
got
honey.
3 other biological siblings and 2 other step siblings, so it's 5 left home now. You probably
Okay.
don't see all of them in all the videos, but it's a house full over here.
But I know you love that baby because y'all were doing they was doing TikToks with this baby. I'm telling you, you guys, they didn't miss a beat. If I could say that, they didn't miss a beat with this baby. I don't want to get to her death quite yet, but she comes home. How's the household now with the other kids? Because she does have sisters and brothers. How does that work? Are they scared to touch her, or you training and getting them inclined to what they need to do for Egypt? Does she recognize them? Because we're talking about a 4-year lapse at this point.
Yes.
How
The
does that
kids
kind of
wanted to
work
be
out
around
when she
her.
come home?
The kids wanted to be around her so much, and I was the one that was nervous. So it was only so much
Mm-hmm.
I allowed them to touch her until I showed them how a seizure is and how certain stuff and the tubing and all that other stuff. So I really didn't allow it. They was always fighting who's going to push her wheelchair, her stroller, who's going to do her nails, who wants to read her a book, who wants to play with the
Oh,
toys with her. Yeah, so they always used to argue about, especially when we go in public. I want to push her, so they always argued about it. Or who want to sit
that is
beside her.
so
Yeah,
dope. That is so dope
yeah,
to see siblings acting like that.
yes.
Listen, because if
Ooh,
we're
we
being
fought.
honest, a lot of time our kids, mine, I gotta remind them. So this is dope to see how supportive and loving that the babies were to her. That's
Like, say for
amazing.
instance, I go take one of my girls to get her nails done. I will go take Egypt to get her nails done. If
Come
I
on
go take
now.
them to the hairdresser, she go get her hair done from the hairdresser. They will braid her hair down with the beads. Her older sister will hold in her lap sometime, or I will hold in the lap sometime. So yes, Egypt was loved, and she had every Jordan that came out. She was always fresh to the T. Egypt was.
You said she had every Jordan that came out. I love that.
Yes.
And her favorite color is, if y'all don't see it, it's purple.
Yes.
Pink? Oh, it's purple? Purple.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I
That's
just
why
didn't
my
want to
floor,
make
my
our
rug is purple.
background purple because it'd have been too dark for y'all to see
Yeah.
our names. But yeah, she has a spot. If you didn't see it in the reel, she's probably sitting close to it. She
I
has
can. Let
Mm-hmm.
me
y'all
get
got
up.
to
I
see
see
it.
it.
The way the memory is still there. She still has not
Mm-hmm.
touched Egypt's bedroom.
Mm.
That's her footprints right there. Handprint. This is all her shoes she had. She had a lot more in her room. Her favorite shoes. We went to Myrtle Beach right there. Got her a
Wow.
new bench. This is her hair from 2015 right here. Let me try to get this real quick.
Her
When her
hair?
injury first happened
Mhm.
and they had to cut her
Okay.
hair. That was back from 2015. And
Mama's
this is
love.
when she passed away.
Wow.
And there's her wheelchair, with all her stuff on her wheelchair.
And she has it decorated with the throw, and it just creeps me out when I see Egypt. When I see that name, it just triggers me so bad. But to see the love that this mom has poured into this
Absolutely.
child, that okay. So Kaya, she comes home. How long is she in the house before her day of death? So how long do you get to do all this mommy stuff until this day?
It would have been 5 years. April April, March the 19th would have been 5 years that she would have been with me before she passed when she passed away. So it would have been 6 years now. So I had only 5 years, about 5 years with her. Because she was 10 when she passed away.
Wow. Okay, because I've been running that up. Jay just in shock over my sister's in shock.
What is so?
You're not gonna scare her.
I have a
Kaya
little bit
is
of a
strong.
well, I have a very, I'll say a little bit of a similar situation. I had a niece that passed away years ago. Egypt, I don't think I even told you this, which is why I didn't want to be on the show. Because it's giving me that same type of thing. And I want to say, how did you feel? Because I can't do it. How did you feel seeing your baby like that? This is triggering me.
I was numb when she passed away because she went in the hospital for congestion. And she passed within 30 hours of being in the hospital. And I was in the room the whole time when they was doing CPR, and I was just so numb. I was very numb. I held her for 4 hours until they took her away. They literally had to make me put her, like, where they moved her on the bed. She was deceased in my arm for 4 hours. And I was very, very numb because I couldn't believe what was going on. Like, I couldn't believe it. And all they kept asking me to do was leave the room when they was doing CPR. And I said, I'm not leaving my baby. So they called the priest in there. And when they did CPR for about 50 minutes on her. And I have so many unanswered questions because I don't understand how my baby passed that quickly or being in the hospital for congestion.
Because this is something normal. When you guys say that, because I know y'all looking at her physical body and you're saying, well, she was like A, B, or C, but no, her mom was used to her getting like the colds and stuff like that, which hit different for baby Egypt than it would for a grown-up. So her mom knew, Kaya knew to take her to the hospital. They're going to do their little thing and my baby is coming home. That's the routine here, you guys. It's not like, oh, just all of a sudden. That's why Kaya is saying she has all these unanswered questions because she left the hospital and then she's dead. And I get that as a mom. I get that as a mom. And I don't care how nobody tried to make it seem like, well, the baby was disabled or how we try to judge she wasn't living a life. You don't know what that baby mind was, what was going on with that baby mind while she was here. We got to stop doing it, trying to assume how somebody feel. This is her child. This is her baby. Again, we're going to go here. She trusted her baby to go with her biological father. It ain't like she put her off to go to the club or none of that. She was doing her due diligence to co-parent with somebody that not only did she at one point love, I'm assuming, but she made a child with this guy. And he has other kids, which is scary as hell when we talk about this kind of monster that does stuff like this. So we can't assume Egypt, I know, loves you. I know she loves you. And I know everybody got these hearsays about what happened. You know, you be in the presence of God or you not in the presence of God or but whatever. But I know if she talking to Jesus right now, she telling him, my mommy loved me. Sis, you have showed us mothers resilience.
Mm-hmm.
You have showed us strength and consistency. You could have gave up. A lot of Black women wouldn't have fought for 4 years, sis. Not for a child that they're gonna have to do 24-hour care. A lot of us wouldn't did it. We wouldn't have done it. In Egypt, if you listening to this, your mom is holding up good and she is living out your legacy and your memory. And the QOC is not gonna let it die. What I promised to Miss Kaya was that this show will air again during Mother's Day month. And anytime that she wants us to roll anything for Egypt, we will do. I advise Kaya to let us know of the nonprofit so we can share it and promote it on our end. J. Marie has a nonprofit too. If she's speaking at engagements, I told her if she recorded, send it to me. I want to share it. I just want this sister to know that you don't know us, but we love you. We truly love you, and we appreciate you coming on here. And it's just like it happened yesterday, because I'm triggered and I'm tearing up. And for me to stop a show and call on Jesus to finish a show, it's hard. It's hard. Y'all heard it from Kaya's mom. We're going to let her say whatever she want to say during this time to the audience. And then we're going to wrap this show up. But before she says anything, this is a little clip of Egypt. I just want y'all to see this baby.
Mama. Hey, mama. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. I got you. I got you.
Do you see how she's looking at her mom? And I don't know if it's even go there, because I done watched this clip over and over and over and over again. Do you see the love in that baby's eyes? So for you to dictate whether she had feelings or emotions, we know love and recognize love. Yes. We have shared some helpful information to you guys about shaken baby syndrome, the awareness of it. If you, and this is our obligation as mothers that's around young mothers, like Miss Kaya is educating mothers and parents and stuff. If you notice something just not right, pull that young mother to the side and talk to them. Just this week alone, I have watched 3 infants left on lifeless bodies, left on porches after they done did whatever they done did. If you don't believe me, go on TikTok and just in the search box, baby's death. Just this week, one was not even as old as baby Egypt when this happened. Another one, the baby got into some heroin. I don't know what's going on with that story. The twin woke up, is dead. I don't know where the connect with parents. I know it ain't no excuse, but you are a monster, Mr. Joseph. You're a monster. I pray that God, I don't even pray nothing bad on you. I pray that you find God. This is my wish to you. I pray that you find God and you find some sort of peace. But I pray that you be a man and you come to Miss Kaya and you confess and you help give her the closure that she needs as to why. That's the question. Why? When you could have dropped that baby out, you picked the baby up. You could have dropped the baby back off. Why? But if she doesn't get the closure, I know Kaya loved Egypt and Egypt loved Kaya. And I'm interested to see what laws Kaya can get done. It's gonna trigger me if they do an Egypt law to see my name. I'm gonna be honest. But I pray that justice is served. These kind of cases, man, we have to deal with more, and we have to give them the due exposure that they are due. J. Marie, I want to thank you, sis, for coming on, because I know this was one that you didn't really want to touch. But I had to get the story out. I had to talk to this mother. I had to get her on the platform. That's all Egypt has to say. And y'all know I'm a talker. Y'all watch me. Y'all know I talk.
And I didn't want to touch it. Let me be clear, because I am the biggest crybaby when it comes to kids. I can't do it. I can't do it.
But we are the QLC Network. TV family, YouTube, Instagram, because it's streaming everywhere right now live. Y'all are hearing the beautiful, and I'm going to stop saying tragic, the beautiful story of Egypt, because her story is not over. The chapter just ended, but her story is not over. Her mom is doing such a beautiful job, man. I mean, you fought for 4 years. You did everything. You dotted I's. You crossed.
And your kids are seeing an example of an exemplary. I can't even say the word right.
A good
exemplary. Mom. There we go. A good mom. I'm using a big ass word I can't pronounce right now.
But a good mom.
A good mom. A dope mom.
Do you understand? I don't know if y'all get how much this woman sacrificed.
The example you're setting for these babies, they're forever gonna be in debt to you because of what you did for their little sister.
Jesus.
What you're doing for their little sister. Like, that does not go unnoticed. I don't care what they may not say. Your kids notice everything. Our kids notice everything we do and what we don't do. So thank you for being an amazing example of a mom that does not give up on loving their babies.
And I just want to say one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
When Department of Social Services try to tear your life up, don't let them get power over you. You fight hard. You fight against them, especially what you done right, and you know how good you took care of your kids. And especially with my situation, I had nothing to do with what happened to Egypt. Believe me, the hate that I have in my heart towards Joseph right now, I wouldn't want to see him. Because if I see him, I'll probably be behind bars. I'm just being real, because I got so much anger towards him. And I know the Lord said revenge is mine. And I try to cope. I have a lot of sometimes anger. Anything trigger me off. It triggers me off because of grief. Grief is real. Grief is real. One day I'm just a happy person. The next thing you know, I'm cussing for every little thing that don't need to be cussed about. I'm just cussing because I'm just hurt that my baby's not here. And DSS stole my baby away from me. And I feel like if she would have came right home to me, she would have been walking and doing more than she was doing.
Yeah.
They stop her progression and they allow stuff to happen to her in the foster home. And I don't feel like that's fair. And I'm going to keep fighting for justice for my baby until I'm no longer here. I'm just going to keep fighting and fighting nonstop. And it's just hard for me.
Girl, you got us cutting up on here.
And one more thing I want to say, I don't know.
No, you talk because I want people to feel how real this is, because you're telling us your life, how it is now that she's gone. You're battling. We're saying you strong, but you know.
I stay up all night, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. I sleep on this couch right here. Not because I want to sleep on this couch, but it's closer to my baby stuff. So I just sit here and my husband like, are you going to bed? And I just fall asleep on the couch and I just stare at all her stuff and I just fall asleep staring at her stuff. And it's just a lot I go through on the regular. A lot of people don't see it because I don't show a lot of my emotions. I try to be strong for my kids. And people say, oh, you happy all the time, you strong. They just don't know what I go through on the regular mentally about losing my baby. And everything that I still do now with my kids, I always involve Egypt. And I always talk about Egypt every second of the day. And another thing is the hospital system is messed up because the doctor who told me to pull a plug was the doctor who was there in the room that walked out after her heart started beating and said he don't know what happened. And when I filed something against the hospital system, he retired within 2 months of her death, and there's no justice being served on anything, everything. There's no justice being served, and I just don't understand it. And when
I
I
have
went
never
down,
heard nothing like this. I
and
have
when
never heard nothing like this. I'm serious. I have never, not
and
with the
I went down
system
to the police
failing.
department where they did the autopsy, and the investigator who was dealing with the situation from 2015 said, "Well, if you would have pulled the plug, then he would have been charged with homicide." Then and I'm like, my baby is gone, and y'all telling me this? Like,
Hold on,
who would pull the
Kaya.
plug on their child?
One
Like,
more
who does that?
second. Jay, I want Kaya to repeat what
Yeah.
the detective told
Yeah.
her as a mom. Because y'all got to hear what we got policing us. Kaya, could you please repeat what the detective told you to do?
I should have pulled the plug back then, and the homicide would have been right then and there. I chose to keep her alive, so now they can't do nothing about it because of statute of limitation. A homicide in South Carolina is 3 years. It's a statute of limitation here in South Carolina. Homicide 3 years.
Sis.
I got petitions, and I'm trying to get the law changed. It's hard, but finally the senator is going to meet with me next week. Next Wednesday, I go meet with the senator in Columbia.
Come
Get the
on
law
now.
changed.
Repeat it again for the people in the back.
Yes, I'm trying to get the law changed, and they found I called the senator office almost since January, and they finally contacted me back to say next week I could come.
Look at God.
Yes, and I'm
Look
and I'm
at
gonna keep
God.
fighting, and I'm gonna keep pushing. And even when I meet the senator and stuff still don't budge, it's
Keep
gonna be
push
going on for
past that.
years and years until finally it breaks.
Listen, be like your boss's boss, your boss's boss's boss, and your boss's 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 boss.
Yes.
Man,
We
I
gonna keep
love her
running it up.
perseverance, man. You got to love a mom that's, and I know we hear a lot of people that lose their kids, but in all that tragedy, look what she's doing.
People tell me they don't know how it feels to lose a child. Cause people tell me, well, she's gone. You got other kids. Think about your other kids. Why are you still going to the gravesite? It's not going to change nothing. And I'm like, that's my baby. I go to gravesite every week. I go to gravesite every week. Like Easter, I already bought her this bouquet to put down there. We're gonna do a balloon release on Friday. Um, I
I
got
want
all
the
kind of stuff
video.
set up for her.
We need the video. We need that
Okay.
video. We need that
Okay.
video.
And one more
Yes.
thing I'm gonna say is last year for her
Yeah.
birthday, I did a community free event. I'm actually doing it again this year. I did a community center, free food, face painting. I did bouncy houses,
Make sure you give us the
giveaways.
details of
Yeah.
that so
Okay.
we can promote it. We'll promote it even
Okay.
though we're
And
here.
maybe
We're
contribute
still
toward it too. Yeah, we could
the
definitely contribute
visibility
to
of it. Absolutely.
I did
Absolutely.
it last year, and I'm doing it. It will be her 12th birthday this year. I do it every year, and I'm gonna do it every year until the day I leave this world. I'm just gonna do it every year. Every year.
Girl, you is loved. Girl,
Yes.
you is loved.
Hmm.
Baby girl, you is
Man.
loved. So that'll be my birthday in September, and I'll never forget baby Egypt. So yeah, on behalf of me, and then I know my QLC team, it's about 14, 15 of us. We'll definitely try to contribute something to you on that
Absolutely.
cause on behalf of the QLC network. This is what community look like, you guys. Our sisters in South Carolina, but she's trying to do something positive. We could support everything else in the world that's wrong, but we don't support what is right. So this sister
Do you see
definitely
this
got
right
our
here?
love and our look at her.
I just got that delivered today. A lady from out of
It's
state, I think she drove
beautiful.
about 6 hours. She painted it, did a canvas, and delivered to me today. That's
Come on,
when before
Egypt.
her injury, and that's after her injury. And I got little flyers back here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You being a little more chocolate, baby Egypt. I might have to do a DNA test on you because baby,
How?
I don't
I
even
don't know if you've
know.
seen this.
I
This is
mean,
my
I
baby
saw,
also right here.
look at her.
Oh,
Never
okay.
shake
Come
a
on,
baby.
Egypt.
That was
That's what
my
it
girl right
says.
there. She still is my girl. Always be my girl. That's my
Yes,
baby.
ma'am. Mother's
I
love
got her
never
on
dies.
my shirt everywhere.
Oh my God, baby, she rocking. Baby Egypt, Baby, you are
She
loved.
picked the right mama to have
No, no, she
be the
didn't
kid
pick.
to
God gave her the right
God.
mom.
Yeah.
God gave her the right mom because she could have had one of these moms that would have walked away and just been like, let the state do whatever. Sis, again, from the QLC family, we love you. We support you, and whatever you need to do, let us know. You got my personal phone number.
Okay.
I answer. I'm not like that. And whatever we could do, if it's sending this show off to someone, you just let us know what we could do for Egypt, and that could be done. We will do for you.
And thank you so much for having me, because I said it earlier. I did a Facebook earlier, and I was telling them, I said, producer, um, her name is Egypt also, and she's going to let me tell my baby story, my story. And no one in Greenville, South Carolina will even let me tell a story about my baby at all. They are not supported here in South Carolina. They're not. And I put her story out on every, like, YouTube, everything. No one ever contacted me and say, well, I want to hear your story to raise awareness. You're the only one that really opened your
Well,
arms to let me tell my baby
guess
story.
what? We finna run it up, and it's gonna be more people reaching out to you, honey. That's for sure.
Yeah. Just keep
That's
us
for
in the
sure.
loop of your nonprofit and all of that information so we could tag. And if we need to do a flyer for it, if you're not flyer
Let us
savvy,
know.
we do all of that too. We do a
Okay.
lot of in-house stuff, so we could definitely help you out on that. That's what the platform is for. And for all the QOC teammates that I see y'all over here watching, this is what we stand for. This is the network. It's giving a voice to the voiceless. And it's for representing those that don't have the platforms or the communities to go to.
Absolutely.
She's all the way in South Carolina, and QOC gave her a chance to speak. It
Yes.
wasn't even no chance. I was honored. More than honored.
Absolutely.
So we got to do better, y'all, in helping get stuff out. It ain't got to be all about the hottest celebrity or the hottest whatever.
Trending this, trending that. This is important.
Trending.
This is important.
Yeah. So
This is
QLC
important. We need
family,
to change things.
yep,
Absolutely.
we are the change. We are the change. We don't stand for ratchetness and all that stuff. The vision is adjust your crown, because your story is not over. And I done said that 4 times this show, which I never have. We are not the author or the finisher of our story. This baby story is still been written, even as she's sleeping in peace. So that goes to show you how God still moves on our behalf. And I just want to encourage you guys out there just to love on your kids. Go and give them a hug wherever they, I don't care how bad they is. Pour into them, because you just never know. You never ever know. It might not be your child last time, but it might be your last time as a parent. Show them what this mama here is showing. In spite of, I still get up and I do for my other kids. I still make something happen. I'm trying to be a wife. She's a wife too, y'all. She's a wife.
10 years now. 10 years.
10 years. Congratulations.
Yes.
Can't get past. Okay, but anyway.
No, we ain't doing that. Kaya, we not finna infiltrate you into the BS now.
But I was trying to make her laugh before we get out for here. So I hope we give you guys due diligence. Y'all know this is our Wednesday live show. Quickies will be earned Friday at 7 o'clock. Y'all know that's the Grown and Mature. Then you definitely don't want to miss Sunday Quentin Simon Talk Show, where he interviews all the hottest gospel artists and all of that. That comes on Sunday at 1:30. Next week is Akila Flick Chicks Horror. Y'all know she got something scary. I don't do scary movies. But we got something cooking in the background that's going to drop in 2 weeks. So we're up to... And since this show going to Canada, just to let you know, because we got
it's going to Canada.
On Canada.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, Egypt. Yeah. You are missed and you are loved. From the QOC family. Jay, anything you want to say before we go out?
No, because I'm about to cry again. Because I just thought about that. Like, fuck, excuse me, Canada. Like, come on.
So her story is getting out there.
We getting it out. We getting it out.
And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate
You
it.
are so welcome, love. And anytime, even if you want to talk or pray, sis, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. One thing
Thank
I
you so
can do,
much.
I can pray for you.
Okay.
I can't do that. I can't pray for myself at times. But we're gonna, speaking of prayer, this is how we're gonna end this show. With prayer. And then we're gonna play our outro and we out, and we'll see y'all next week. Father God, in the name of Jesus, first off, we want to just say thank you. Thank you for waking us up this morning in spite of all the evilness sometimes we do in all of our sins. We ask you to forgive those sins, those that are known and those that are unknown. Then, God, all three of us on here, each one of us needs you for something different. We don't even have to go into detail because, God, you created us. And you said if we couldn't do nothing, we could just wave our hand and you would know to come see about us. So what I'm asking for, God, is for you to come and see about Kaya. This is not about QOC. This is not about image. This is not about numbers right now. We ask you to come and comfort her. Continue to build her up where she needs to be built up. And that evil anger that she's feeling, Lord, I ask you to come and give her peace. Only you could give her that peace. We can't. You give us peace above all understanding, and we thank you for it. You said whether there's 2 or 3, you will be in the midst. And Lord, I believe that this show, you are in the mix. And however and whatever role you take Miss Kaya in Egypt, because I'm still talking as this baby is here, God. If she's in your presence, Lord, just let her come and comfort her mom tonight. Let her know that it's okay to try and live without her. Because one thing about this, we shall meet up again. We shall see each other again if we do what you have commanded us to do. This woman and mother has shown nothing but love. And God, we ask that you show it in return. I believe it's already done. And we're claiming it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
We love you so
much. Okay.
Make you question all your verses. You stumbling through your performance. You ain't hot or the warmest. I'm stinging hot, call me a hornet. Price of fame, you can't afford it. You want it free, do nothing with it. F you, hey me, the mentality, you scared to risk it. It ain't no future, off of your frontin', wanna create you a miracle. All work, minimal. You all talk, criminal. I am not hearing you, and I'm not feeling you. Y'all so disrespectful, like I'm supposed to be fearing you. Hip-hop renaissance. Remember when we went hard? I don't need an entourage. Why you need a bodyguard? Next level, same rules. You coming down, change moves. I don't gotta get in where I fit in. I've been here and been about my shoes. So don't be surprised at the kickback. It be the stuff you can't get back. My time is real, you don't get that. I'ma hit you with the real facts. I got that, I got that. You got that, I got that, I got that, I got that. You got that? No, you don't. Don't be surprised at the kickback. It be the stuff you can't get back. My time is real, you don't get that. I'ma hit you with the real facts. I got that, I got that. You got that? I got that, I got that, I got that. You got that? No, you don't. Y'all be rhyming like you scared to. Say the things you afraid to. So you just say what you paid to. Until the day they don't pay you. I'ma take this to the grave too. A lot of your day ones hate you. This ain't for me.